Occurred the 9th of April 2002, 22 hours 0 minutes and 0 seconds. Local location: New Albany, in USA. Shape: rectangle. Duration: 20 seconds. No of observers. 3 red objects moved across the sky from east to west about 30 degrees above the horizon.
Occurred the 6th of July 2008, 23 hours 0 minutes and 0 seconds. Local location: New Albany, in USA. Shape: fireball. Duration: 2 minutes. No of observers. 5 characteristics: lights on object. Fire in the sky over Indiana. 11 p.m. July 6, 2008 in New Albany, Indiana. Me and my kids along with my nephew and GF saw the similar thing. It all started in the same kind of fashion. I as well was being entertained with the neighbor's fireworks, when all of a sudden what appeared to be a plane on fire was in the sky in front of me. The reason I say on fire was because of the unusual orange lights. Since I've never seen anything like it, I immediately thought of fire. It appeared that the front right engine was on fire because of the concentration of light on that area. The lights were very bright, but that's when things got strange. 1. Why would lights on a plane, if not fire, be pointing upward more than down? 2. At that point it was moving so slowly, just a straight path, no funny movements, but I'm still thinking plane on fire. Then I realized no noise, which would mean the plane should be coming down. No sound equals no engine. But in fact it stayed at the same height the whole time. I told my nephew to go get everybody else, they had to see this. The plane was directly above us at this time. Still no noise, but maintained an altitude of what I assumed, even using a single engine plane for reference, of about 10 to 15,000 feet. My GF was amazed at what she saw, normally being the skeptical one, so much so that she didn't want it to scare the children, so she took them inside. Once the plane was past, it just all of a sudden disappeared. Now I know it was nothing that I have or will ever see again, knowing that it wasn't identifiable by me. After it disappeared, I actually hopped on my motorcycle and went to the Clark County Airport, expecting to see some type of search plane, which is normally done in a single engine plane crash, but they acted like they saw nothing. At this point my mind, even though I'm open to anything, still didn't or couldn't wrap around seeing a UFO.
Occurred the 1st of July 2009, 21 hours 0 minutes and 0 seconds. Local location: New Albany, in USA. Shape: unknown. Duration: 10 minutes. No of observers. 0 characteristics: lights on object. A night out driving turned moment of awe thanks to moving lights above the trees. I was driving home through New Albany, a city I lived in and know well, and was crossing a well-traveled intersection one night. I had the windows to my Jeep down because my air conditioner needed to be charged. I was sober and 19 years old. I was going to university in the city, and I went to see a relative. I left her house by myself on a very cool night. It was breezy and balmy, so having the windows down felt good. It may have stormed. I drove my Jeep through New Albany and ended up driving north on Silver Street at around 9 p.m. that night and came to the intersection of Ekin Avenue. I came to a stop and found the 2 red flashing stop lights working as usual that night, except there were more this time. More lights. I slowed down because I was so engaged with what was rows of lights that dove so low over that intersection. After this craft slid over my head, the small 1-story houses and their trees ended up hiding them. It was semi-quiet and low. Very low. Nobody else was around, and I drove on Ekin, following in my Jeep, and the craft flew over a bank of trees southeast, in front of a home no less, when I assume it headed for the river. I couldn't drive as fast as I'd have liked, but I tried to catch up and couldn't. I called 911 in 2 counties and asked if they had gotten any calls. They had nothing and told me to call the airport. The airport hadn't heard or seen anything, but I know what I saw. I think I even called the news station. They took my story but didn't care. I made a point to exhaust all avenues, but no one else saw it. The sky at the intersection that night was dark and it was breezy. Pulling up to the stop became something else entirely. These lights were bulbs, of some sort, and they lined the bottom side of the craft. As the craft flew over the intersection of Silver Street and Ekin Avenue, its underbelly was flat with 3 red orbs as lights or something else. I pulled up and noticed the craft as I stopped and slowed to a halt as I looked at it cross over my head and down Ekin Avenue New. That is when I began trying to follow it. It was probably headed to featuring Knox. When I say craft, I assume it was all attached. It was above me and moving, but the lights seemed anchored somehow. Positioned. There were no aircraft in the sky, and if there were, they wouldn't be that low. When I called the airport, I told them it flew as low as the treetops, when they said they had heard nothing. The airway into Louisville goes over the city. This 40-feet craft was over New Albany, headed southeast down the river, towards someplace else.
Occurred, the 1st of November 2009, 17 hours 20 minutes and 0 seconds. Local location, New Albany, USA. Shape, oval. Duration, 2 minutes. No of observers. 2 characteristics. Aura or haze around object. Large disk appearing and disappearing while hovering with no change in direction. A large metallic disk appeared and disappeared in a very gradual manner above some woods a couple miles off the highway. It hovered very steadily and had no direct course of flight. I made absolutely sure that this was not identifiable. Disappeared without any trace after a couple appearances.
Occurred, the 26th of June 2010, 0 hours 5 minutes and 0 seconds. Local location, New Albany, USA. Shape, triangle. Duration, 2 minutes. No of observers. 1 characteristics. Lights on object. Clear sky. Full moon, behind me. 3-spoke object, blue and white lights. White changed intensity. Soft jet sound. I sighted the object on Route 150 just outside of New Albany, IND. Object was shaped like a 3-spoke, or Mercedes or Peace logo. It had a white light at the end of each spoke and one in the center of spokes. There was a blue light on each spoke just inside the white ones. The craft was suspended in air as I drove under it. There was a hushed jet engine sound, or a sound like a hot air balloon getting a charge of hot air. The white lights looked to be completely around the spoke, like a gas lantern globe. The white lights on the spokes changed in intensity and blocked out the blue ones. Then the white lights on the spokes went down in intensity and the middle white light brightened even more than the 3-spoke ones. When it went down, the white spoke lights brightened again, but not all at the same time as earlier. I was still driving very slow, and it disappeared over some trees as I dove under and by it, starting up a tree-covered hill. I quickly turned round, and when I got back to the open location, 20 to 25 seconds, the object was gone. This was on a full moon night without a cloud in the sky. Visibility was excellent and I had a good view as it was a large valley.
Occurred, the 2nd of June 2012, 22 hours 38 minutes and 0 seconds. Local location, New Albany, USA. Shape, fireball. Duration, 5 minutes. No of observers. 2 characteristics. Lights on object. 9 fireballs almost in a crickle moving around. 9 fireballs in almost a circle, they were moving about their self. 7 faded slowly away. The other 2 seemed to move fast for a short distance then stop for a few sec. A couple times then also faded away. It happened near Grant Line Road at IUS.
Occurred, the 20th of April 2013, 19 hours 0 minutes and 0 seconds. Local location, New Albany, USA. Shape, oval. Duration, 30 minutes. Characteristics. Aura or haze around object. Group of ships over skyline. I had set up my camera to take photographs of the fireworks show called Thunder over Louisville. It's the opening to the Derby Festival here in Louisville, Kentucky. I was approximately 7 miles away on top of Spigot Knob Road up in Floyd's Knobs, and the view that I had, you could see the entire landscape and is the highest point in that particular area. While I was waiting for the show to start, I was taking pictures of the air show. As I was taking photos, I saw a group of objects that would appear and disappear in the sky. I saw them 3 different times each time, and each time I tried to focus on them I was unable to. When I was reviewing my pictures the next day, I saw that I happened to catch the group of objects high in the sky over the city, well above the airplane that is in the picture. There looked to be 2 groups of aircraft flying in formation. When I soon get in on the picture, the crafts all look round, cylindrical, with a metal color, with a definite solid shape on all of them, and what looks to be a sit atmosphere at the center of each of the ship, much like the reported flying disc. I emailed a copy of the image to your site in JPEG form, however I still have the original photo in a RAW format that is too large to email at this time.